Welcome to the Humans 101. This is the last ever video on how to farm money, just survive rounds, and everything like that you're gonna need. Alright, now let's start with the first tip. Location. This is probably one of the most important parts of surviving a match. Like, a spot like maybe here or here might work better for surviving, but probably not like a spot like this or that. So for example, let's go with the shipwreck map. So pretty much anywhere on this side of the map is a good option because there's 2 robot spawns on this map and you want to be as far away from them as possible, unless you're going for something like that. But also, the robots are going to be coming at you from that side of the map, so you probably don't want to be over there. Usually there's 2 main wars at this time. So I would recommend going as far as you can back and trying to shoot them down. And remember, you have a melee weapon for a reason, so use it. This goes for every single map out there. If there's a robot spawn on one side of the map, you probably want to go to the other before you get blown up. Usually the good areas have sky bases on them, so if you're not good at this, you can find a sky base and you don't know where to go. Oh yeah, I'll be using shipwreck for my main example. Now it's time for tip number 2, choosing the right map. Okay, this might seem dumb, but it's also really important too. Some maps are more human-sided than others. Like the pit or Skull Island usually isn't a good pick for humans. Now you might be thinking, wait, don't humans win all the time on Skull Island? Yeah, that is true, but there's one main reason why that's exactly why it's bad. Because if you didn't know, there's a system in the game that gives you more money depending on how many people are left in the game. So if 5 people die, you might get $550, but if 20 people die, you might get $750. That's exactly why Skull Island isn't a good choice, because nobody even dies. But it's the opposite for Pit, because everyone dies. So a good choice might be Coastal Cliffs or Close Quarters, because they're robot-sided, but they're not overly robot-sided. But enough people should die, so you'll get a certain amount of money that's pretty good. Anyways, time for tip number 3. Farming resources. Now there's 2 main ways to do this. Either killing robots with your weapon, or traps. Traps are more efficient. So I'll go over some trap designs. First up, we have the fire spinner. It's made by spinning a block that's covered in flame blocks. This trap usually doesn't get the kills, but it really lowers their health down. These traps do really good when they're next to each other because it grinds robots way faster. Now let's add the flame block to our defenses. Another idea is the magnet spinner. This spinner pulls on robots, slowing them down and doing minor damage. This spinner also has a second mode, which blasts robots back from you, which is also really good. Here's what it looks like and sounds like in action. This type is really good with the flame blocks because it cooks way faster. Let's add the magnet block to our combo. Now we're even more strong. Next up, we have the icicles. Most players don't have this because I'm pretty sure it was limited to an event. But here's what it looks like in action. It one-shots robots with falling icicles. So you don't need to make this one, but I guess we're gonna add it for the people who do have it. Another really cool trap is the spike spinner. This one is made in the exact same way as the flame spinner, but instead of using flame blocks, you use spikes, and it doesn't burn you over time. Usually, you make this type of spinner double-deckered for double the damage against the tank and the avalanche or doomsday. This type of spinner does pretty insane damage, and it actually has potential to get some of the kills if you look at this video. As you can see, the tank's HP is falling really fast, and this is a tank, by the way, so it's pretty strong. Let's add the spike spinner to our list of traps. By the way, you don't need to make all of these, you can just pick one. For more experienced players looking for tips, you can use this wall. This one is pretty much just a modified version of the basic wall, and it'll finish off any robots that are coming to your wall willing to blow it up, so it's really good. So if this skirmisher had been through all those other traps, and he was willing to blow up your base, he would do this much damage. Which means that if they wanted to blow up your base, they would have to have less health. Wait, it would mean that, I don't know, it's just like a good way to kill them, right? But if you're not as experienced as that, you can always just put these traps and landmines on the floor, and they just do the exact same amount of damage usually. And there's also these things you can build called spinners, but we're going to talk about those in another video. Now, I get that all these traps are expensive, but it's just another way to upgrade how much money you get, and they're not really essential, so you're pretty much good if you just build walls or something. And if you're a beginner, usually there's teams of people that'll build traps for you if you don't have them. So yeah, those are traps. Another way to kill, assist, and earn XP, helping you level up, buy more upgrades, more traps, and also just get better at the game, which is the best way to get money. Stay tuned to hear me talking about how to get another way for money, which is killing robots. Just kidding, we're gonna talk about it now in the next part, which is killing robots. We're gonna name every single robot, and I'm gonna tell you if you're able to attack it or you should stay away from it. First we have the infantry, and yeah, I would recommend attacking it. It's the basic robot, so nothing special. Just make sure you stay a good distance away. For a skirmisher, you should be fine. Just keep in mind that it has an instant explosion and it can lunge at you at any time. Now, I would stay away from the jumper because it's way harder to hit than other robots, and it also does pretty solid damage, so don't attack it. At least you can, as long as you feel prepared, but I wouldn't recommend it. For Shredder, you should be fine. But remember, it's a melee robot, so don't use a melee weapon. Remember, when a Shredder gets too close to you, it can easily kill you. The tank is not recommended for me. It does crazy damage, has tons of health, and its ability makes it insanely hard to hit. But if you feel prepared, which you probably aren't. Now, for the Illusionist, this one kind of depends on your skill level. If you're a new player and you're using a weapon like the spear, please don't attack this, as it just makes it more confusing. But if you have a weapon like a crossbow, yeah, go ahead. You just have to have a weapon with spread. I wouldn't recommend attacking the ghost. If you have no choice but to attack it, make sure to look out for his shadow, as that is what he looks like when he goes invisible. The miner should be safe, but whatever you do not get too close. It is able to one-shot you no matter what armor you're wearing. For the missiler, no. Definitely no. But usually you shouldn't even have to fight it because it'll usually just pop out of nowhere. But hopefully you can kill it out of mid-air, which is really hard to do, but I know you'll do it, bro. For Dissolver, no, do not attack Dissolver. It is right now the best robot in the entire game. No matter what you do, it will find a way to kill you. With its poison gas that slows you down and your teammates, you guys don't stand a chance. For Phaser, you should be safe. Just keep in mind that he can attack through walls, and also his attack has two charges. One is electric and hits you, and one also just explodes you. For a Marksman, I don't know about this one. You should attack it with a melee weapon, as it has range too, and it'll most likely one-shot you. It doesn't do good up close because it is able to damage itself and doesn't have very good aim. For Saboteur, run! 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 Something tells me that you should probably run from it. For the Arsonist, you kind of have no choice but to attack him, as he'll do severe damage to your base if you don't. But this shouldn't be that hard, except he shoots fireballs at you. Now, these fireballs are blazing hot, and they will melt you. And if they hit anything wooden on your base, it'll set your base on fire, and anything wooden will burn to the ground. Like the Marksman, you should probably either attack him up close, or try to shoot him down with a ranged weapon. For the Avalanche, you should definitely attack him because he doesn't have a special ability like the tank, and he'll probably destroy your base if he gets too close. The Scrambler, I wouldn't recommend attacking. It's really hard to hit your shots on this guy, and he just does a ton of damage usually, so it's really just going to come out with you with lost HP and no money in return, which isn't really worth it for me, so I would hide. The Woodbot is a safe and easy option to attack. Just don't do it with a melee weapon because he explodes on it. So yeah, that's the list of which robots to attack and which ones to not attack. Some of them got cut off because the clips weren't long enough and I didn't want to duplicate them because it would look weird. But now, the next part is maxing out and upgrading the right weapon. Now, this one isn't as crucial because it really depends on your opinion. But if you're a new player, and you like to be on top of the sky base with everyone else, and you like to just shoot down the robots to get your kills, I would recommend the crossbow. or the slingshot. It doesn't really matter, but I would recommend crossbow because it does more damage, and it's barely even more expensive. Or if you're a more advanced player that likes to do that same thing, I would recommend the ray gun or the railgun because they're both really good at shooting down. The ray gun is a rapid fire weapon that shoots bullets extremely fast that are rainbow, easy to see, and they shoot through walls, but they only do like 4 damage. But you shoot them like once every like 0.5 seconds, so it's really good. And I don't know if I said this already, but they can shoot through walls, which is pretty crazy, but it doesn't have good accuracy. But if you want something more accurate, you can always use the railgun, which is the BTSR equivalent of a sniper rifle. This thing is incredibly good. You just have to learn how to use it. It's pretty much a sniper rifle, and it does the exact same amount of damage as a sniper rifle. Yeah, that's a good option. And it can one-shot almost every robot in the game. And I haven't played it that much, but I don't think it's that hard to hit. But if you want to go for something like that, you can use that. And that's the railgun. It's more. I'm pretty sure I don't know which one's more expensive to upgrade, but it really, like I said earlier, it really just depends. But if you're not for that playstyle and you're more new to the game, honestly, the throwing axe is a great option. This weapon is severely underrated, and it does way more damage than you might think, honestly. Look at this video. Now, if you get the hang of it and actually hit your shots, unlike me, this weapon is actually really good when you hit headshots. As it one-shots not almost every robot, but it does 135 damage, which is a lot. And even if you don't hit a headshot, it still does 90 damage. And look at that fire rate. Pretty cool. So yeah, the throwing axe is a great choice. And I honestly mained it before I switched to the lightning staff. But every once in a while, I switch back to it. For blocks to upgrade, I would recommend stone blocks and iron blocks because they're not cheap and weak, but they're also not strong and expensive. And for armor, if you're into mobility and surviving, I'd recommend Ethereum. But if you're looking to survive rounds and tank shots, I'm willing to go with gold armor because you get an extra, I think it's 20% extra cash from when you kill. It's probably not 20%, I don't know. Oh, and remember, spend your money wisely. So yeah, do you think you're ready to take on those robots? Well, you can't take on robots without knowing all about robots. And there's a video about all of the new robots, and I rank all of them. It's on my channel right now. So go take on those robots.